Y'all, this lighting, oh my god. Hey Plenty friends! Now I'm gonna act a little bit more neutral because this video is dedicated for like a more broad audience than like my plant besties here. Unless you're interested too. I gotta behave because I don't want to scare them away. So yes, I'm really excited. I want to get more into like how to and like collections and like recommendations and stuff like that. Because even though I have thrown out hundreds of plants, I've also taken care of them, and I do have a little bit of experience on a few. The majority of them I do them because I have my little depression areas. So as y'all can see, this video is going to be 5 cool houseplants for beginners. If you see a plant that you like, you can go and pick one up too. But these are plants that I would recommend to a beginner that's getting into houseplants or has had interest and just wants to know what kind of plant to look for and what to get for. The thing is, everybody has like different lifestyles, right? This video is like my favorite easy plants to look after. My favorite. But I was thinking of making a playlist later on like, of like the lifestyle. So like plants that are like for busy people, plants that are for people like that. Am I saying that incorrectly? People that like just are at home and just have so much love to give. There's plants for those people too. There are some people that just want plants that will like tell them what to do. And there are some plants that like will tell you. Like they will kind of show you, like you will learn their language. And then like I feel like over time you just get better at like looking at the signs. Because you can usually tell just by feeling the plant if it's watered, how long it's gonna need water and stuff like that. Yeah, so let's just get started with some really cool plants that I would recommend to beginners. The order that I have them as, it's not like how much I like my favorite to least favorite. It's more of like light. And then, so the first ones are going to be like really low light. Majority of them can be considered as low light plants. When I say low light, I mean it's like there's a window in the room. If it's like a 10 by 10 room, you can place the plants anywhere, like in the back wall, and that's considered low light. Like there's light, but it's very little. The thing is, a lot of plants, there's some plants when that's a whole different video that I want to do too, but I don't want to ramble. Like I said, this is for like new people. So we're gonna start with this one. I do have some that are not that common, but I also try to get plants that you can find in the big box stores but are still considered cool. So we're gonna start with this one. This is a neon pothos, you guys. It is one of the most beautiful plants out there. This plant will give you that jungle vibe that you want with a pop of color in the corner that's super duper dark. But okay, I'm gonna define this now. Okay, so basically low light. When somebody says low light, it's a plant that doesn't mean that it's gonna thrive or it's gonna be happy in low light. It basically means that it has more patience. Like it can handle being in a low light spot for a long period of time without showing you signs of distress like yellow leaves or like it just dying. That's basically what low light means. In reality, if you want your plants to thrive and you want them to grow like crazy, get a grow light. Or place it in a bright indirect spot. Indirect basically means that there's light coming in from outside. There's sun, but the sun rays are not hitting, you know, the plants. Why did I want like this? Not me. I was thinking about like golden hour. You know, like when like people take selfies in golden hour, like their skin is glowing, like they need that sun rays to hit their face to get that pretty picture. That's basically direct. Okay, so and then indirect is like the opposite, you know. So I hope I didn't confuse you, but indirect means it's really bright because there's medium, low, and bright indirect. I'm telling you these terms because you're gonna see the labels on the stores, you're gonna see other plants, and just in case you don't know, that's basically what that means. Indirect basically means no direct sunlight hitting the plant, and direct means there's sun rays hitting the plant. This one don't really like direct sunlight. Usually, especially like maybe there's some, but some plants are harder off than others, or some are just like that. Like fiddles, those can handle full blast on sun, but the ones you get in the big box stores or like in a nursery, those have not developed sunscreen. They're not hardened off, and that's a process, and that's a whole different thing. This one, I'm pretty sure can handle morning sunlight and like when the sun goes down, like when the sun rays are not too intense. This is a really beautiful plant, you guys. This is one of my favorites. Has always, ooh, I almost ate the plant. It's always, as you can see, I love it a lot. It's like really one of my favorites. It grows really good. The more indirect light you give it, the crazier it's gonna grow, and the more neonish it's gonna give it. Like it's so bright because I just got it from the big box stores, so it wasn't a nursery and I was getting all those amazing like light and stuff like that. I'm gonna place it like kind of close to the window. Like these are south facing windows. And I usually like to place it like 5 feet away, but in the ceiling. It's a really beautiful plant. I love this plant a lot. It grows nicely. It trails really good. It's really easy to propagate as well. And there's just so many things, and it doesn't attract pests because there will be some plants that are more prone to pests. It gets more complicated. Like it also depends on your environment and stuff like that. Theoretically, saying it very like basic, this one like is really like Very rare. Like this will not really like give you pests unless you have an infested plant and it will jump on it. For example, like there's some white cleat diffusions or ivies. Oh my god. It's just by bringing them home, we don't have spider mites, but they'll be spider mites like within like a couple days. Like they just show up. It's crazy. But this one, it's amazing, and it's not too prone to pests. It's not that finicky, and humidity. Place in a spot that's in direct light. The brighter the better, but don't stress about that too much. And it's a plant that will look pretty in a dark spot and make it, you know, just because sometimes you need a plant that can pop neonish, very bright in a dark spot, and this is your plant. Water it when the soil dries out. You can usually tell by like touching the plant like this, like you hear, look. You can hear a little bit of cracking. It sounds like I broke a leaf, but it's normal. Like I always thought about that too, but it's not. It's just, it's really hydrated. It's really firm. You can feel the difference. And then when it's thirsty, it's gonna be like really flimsy, really soft, very bendable. I like to water my plants bottom watering, but you can also top water it. Bottom watering basically means you have like a bowl or container of water. You place it in the bottom where there's holes. It has like a saucer. The hose. And you let it sit there for like as long as you want. So usually like for a couple hours, but I do it overnight. And then you take it out and you let the excess water drain out. That's it. That's bottom watering. And then top watering basically is like when you water on top. Neon pothos is an amazing, beautiful plant. I will put labels in the bottom, like plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, so like build suspense. Because I will blabber a lot, but I just want to give you a lot of tips and a lot of advice that I would love to hear, but I know a lot of people like don't like to like hear a lot of blabber. So but yeah, you can always just skip ahead. But to those that want it, I'm giving you everything, like all the tips and recommendations that I can give you, because I want to wish you the best and I want this plant to thrive so you can like love plants and go back to the stores and get more plants or Facebook Marketplace, or go ahead and trade with some planty friends out there. Neon pothos, it's beautiful, has beautiful big leaves. It does pretty good trailing and it won't get smaller leaves like a philodendron usually. If you give it something to climb on, it will give you pretty big leaves. It's a climbing plant because it has all these, right? These are called air roots. Whenever you want to propagate it, you can just cut the vine and place it in water and let it like develop roots. The way we like to do it, a lot of us plant people, we like to chop it up by nodes. Basically, it's each leaf has its own root, like air root, and you just chop it up in the middle. Like I'll cut it right here, this finger in here, in the middle of the two leaves. And then do the entire vine, whatever you cut off, place it in water, sphagnum moss or perlite. I like to propagate my pothos in water because they're pretty cool in water. They're not that finicky. A finicky plant, I'll place it in sphagnum moss. Once it develops roots, you can transfer it to soil or your preferred medium, because a lot of people use leca, and then you have a whole new plant. This is a really easy plant to propagate, and it's great. So you can share it with friends and family, or just do trades and build a collection for free. Or just sell the cuttings too, like, or just sell the actual plant cuttings, whatever you want to like do, and get some extra money, right? It's a gorgeous plant. I can't speak to, like, it's just, as y'all can see, I really love neon pothos. So that's neon pothos. Next up is going to be this one. This is a beautiful Aglaonema or Emerald Beauty. Aglaonema is also considered Chinese evergreen. No, that's a whole lie. Sorry, it's like, I love Chinese evergreen silver bay, but it's not in this video. They're both Aglaonemas and Chinese evergreens, but that's a whole different plant. Same umbrella, like same family. They're just like cousins, I guess you can say, or brothers and sisters or whatever. But this is an Aglaonema. I have the name tag, I'm trying to memorize it. Emerald Beauty. You can find some in the big box stores. I've had it for a while, as you can see. I have it in a saucer. I'm holding it weird because it has water in the saucer and I don't want to make a mess. But this is a beautiful, gorgeous plant. As you guys can see, you can see all that beautiful leaves. It looks like military. Like people always like correct me and I always forget. I say camouflage, but it's a whole different camo. Is that what it's called? Really gorgeous, amazing in the light conditions. Like it can tolerate it, but obviously if you give it more light, it's gonna get big. And it's just a beautiful plant. It's pretty. Watering is really easy, you guys. Like you can like kind of like wait until it dries out and then you can water it. Now if you go too far, she will tell you, like usually what happened with a lot of plants, but specifically this one, the bottom leaves will turn yellow. You gotta remove them. So, and if you want it to be lush, so you don't want that to go dry for too long. So check it like depending, I don't want to give a specific amount of days, but for me, I check this plant weekly if it needs water. I've gone for like weeks without watering it, but it's because it was in a low light spot. But if it was in a brighter spot, I would 1000% water it more consistently because it would take up more of the water. That's one thing about low light plants, you guys, is that when you place it in a low light spot, it's not the water that you gave it, it's gonna take longer for it to dry out. And you know, so it just depends on that too. But this is a gorgeous plant. Also, humidity is not a thing, which is amazing. A lot of plants do want to be above 30% humidity. Like my apartment's 40, no, that's a lie. It's like 50, 60% humidity usually, which is pretty humid. It's like around the 50, which is pretty safe. And that's like the maximum amount of safe. After 60% humidity or 65% humidity, I believe you start getting mold problems, but that's if you have that kind of humidity. They sell like little thermal things. I'll link one below if I don't forget. The one that I got from Amazon is pretty cheap and it's by the app, which is nice. You can see it and you can set alerts. Not sponsored. That's the one that I use. I have other versions too. That's the one that I like. And yeah, it's just such an amazing, gorgeous plant. Now, once I turn it around, you're gonna see just kind of bald in the back. And that's because plants, I have it against a wall in my upper shelf. There is a source of light, but it's not that great. It's basically low light. So you can see where it's at the back of the wall. It's like, you know, like that. Because the plant wants to reach for light. So that's on that. But it's a beautiful Aglaonema. There's a lot of varieties of Aglaonemas out there, but I like this one a lot. And you can see I kind of shine them, but usually you'll see them pretty shiny. They look pretty nice like that. But yeah, there's not much to say about this. Humidity pass is also not that much of a big deal. Like doesn't really attract a lot of pests. But if you have a pest infestation, obviously you will get pests. And I'm actually was dealing with mealybugs. I still am, but it's not as bad as it was back then. And I'm gonna show you, because one of my snake plants that there you go, I already told you one of the plants. It's not just a basic snake plant, it's a different kind of snake plant. It has mealybugs, but I'm gonna show you what I do. It's a really, really easy thing and I just got into it. I used to do it a different method and I'll get more into that, but I did have mealybugs, but I'm treating it with rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. So that's basically what I do. And I haven't really seen a mealybug. When I do, I just spray it. Or I squish it with my finger. Mealybugs don't do nothing to humans. They like to suck the sap of the plants. They're super duper slow. They're kind of cute. Don't zoom in though, because you're gonna get scared. But they're like white fuzzy little balls. So I love this plant so much. It's gorgeous and I need a thumbnail, so yeah, I got my thumbnail. Sorry. But it's a beautiful, oh my god, I can't even talk. It's not much into it. If you guys got any questions, let me know. I would like love to answer them. Because again, these are my favorite plants. I can talk about them for hours. I love the Aglaonema. And like I said, there's a lot, like I can show you right now. It's not part of the video, but I'm gonna show you another pretty one. This is another beautiful Aglaonema. There's a lot of varieties. And again, I have more, girl. I have more like, and I used to have a lot more, but I have my little depression hair, which is pretty normal. That's a whole different video. And I got rid of it, but it's okay though. I am planning to get it again, like go to the stores and buy one because they're pretty cheap. We love common cheap plants. They're just amazing. Next up is this one. You can also find in the big box stores. Also this one. The thing is, this one was not pretty easy accessible back in the day, but now it is because of homegirl Mrs. Costa Farms. They mass produced them, and this is a variegated. Yeah, it's called a variegated peace lily. I think that's how they're listed on their website. Or Spactitanium. I just call it peace lily. It's a beautiful low light plant. It's not too finicky, and this one will tell you when she needs water. She's pretty dramatic. The leaves will fall, but don't panic. Just give it a good watering. They usually come with these nice ceramic no hope I just noticed that. Sorry, this is like off topic. Oh my god, I didn't. This is plastic. Usually they were ceramic. Girl, they're getting cheap. I mean, I guess. Hold on. I think I know I do have, because these are new plants that I've been getting. So this is also plastic. I think I have some other ones that are like old plants. That is wild. Oh my god. Like I said, I threw a lot of plants away. But there used to be like ceramic, like glass, girl. Like terracotta, but like painted, so ceramic. That is wild. I mean, I guess just to keep the price because of inflation, stuff like that. But anyways, this is a really, I mean, it's better. So if you break it, it won't be like a hazard. It's a beautiful plant. I got it because I actually paid for clearance because I was not going to pay $20 for this. You can usually find them for clearance, but you got to be on it unless you get really, really lucky. I paid $10 for it, and it's a gorgeous plant. She will tell you when she's thirsty, just water it. The flowers, okay, so the entire plant is pretty toxic to pets and babies. They'll get like a reaction. My cat, I do have a cat. His name is Valentino. He might come up because I just said his name. They are my kitty cat doesn't bite my plants. He actually scratches my sofas, but I put foil, so that's already fixed. And but he does like to rub his body against the plants. Peace lily flowers are gorgeous, also the variegated ones, but the flowers are like a lot of other flowers too. They're pretty, like the pollen is so easily, like you do this and it will fall like everywhere. Now if it lands on my cat's fur and he licks it, he will get like problems. So I always cut the flowers. I know my cat, but if you have a cat and you see them like nibbling your plants, so if you've never had a plant and you don't know, probably don't get this one. There's other plants, but a lot of plants are usually pretty toxic. Some are more than others, but you can look into that. And this is, or you can let me know, I can make a video about it too. But that's on that. So if you don't have any cats and your babies are not reckless, well, all babies are. I was reckless when I was a baby. I think so. If I don't know, it's a gorgeous plant, you guys. This is one of my wish list plants for so long, and I can show you my old one that I got. Oh my god, that I got a while back from Plantarina, which isn't so plants no more. It's kind of sad, but I can show you. And this was a lot smaller than this one. The one that I got from her was like a 4-inch pot, and it was like a tiny little plant. I still got the video on my channel. It's Plantarina unboxing, I think so, and it's like the first video that I posted. But oh my god, this is a gorgeous plant, and this one's actually textured, like very textured. Oh, look at this new leaf. It's so shiny, very pretty. Light is not really much of a problem since it is variegated. Like a lot of other variegated plants, it would appreciate more light, but she would do a-okay in a low light condition, and it's gorgeous. She will tell when she needs water. Humidity is not that much of a problem. I noticed that like as long as it's 40% humidity, she won't like complain, but again, that's for me. It's gorgeous, and I'm gonna show you my old one. Supposedly it's different, but I don't know. This one is called a Domino Peace Lily, and it's a little 4-inch plant that I was telling you, and I've had her for 4 years. Really just to look after, and I had a lot of depression eras. Like I would like not water my plants for so long, and there would be so many yellow leaves, and she stopped popping. So I just cut them off and I move on forward. I do fertilize to speed up the growth. There's a lot of information about that. I'm not gonna talk about too much about that, but this is such a gorgeous, sorry, like there's people driving and I feel like they're looking at me because I'm talking out the window, because I broke my tripod, so I have you against the window, like the actual window, and the lighting is pretty buzzing too. It's gorgeous, you guys. I highly recommend you to get a Peace Lily. They're beautiful. If your cats don't, or dogs or babies don't nibble your plants, highly recommend you to get one. Just cut off the flowers because those are kind of like bad. Or put, if you do have a, oh, I don't know about a cat, but if you do have a child, a dog, you can put your plants like in shelves. You can put them up, right? Like for example, this plant, this is a neon pothos. I don't think it's toxic, but there's a lot of other beautiful hanging plants out there. If it is bay like that, just hang it. And you have beauty in the ceiling, and they look really, you guys cannot really see. It looks really, excuse me, it looks really pretty in the ceiling. And it's away from like the babies and the pets, right? You guys bring it down to water it, but you'll be supervising, of course. So you can still have plants while having those problems, or like those hurdles. Next up, it's going to be, I just got this one, but I've been wanting it for so long. There's a lot of different varieties out there, and there's a lot, like honestly. And then my next one that I want to get is the green, I know it has a specific name, but it's just fully green of a spider plant. Oh, there's a fungus now. It's such a gorgeous plant, and it looks like grass. But the one that I'm going to show you is called a Hawaiian Spider plant, you guys. I just recently got this. If you're new, I do a lot of plant shopping videos on my channel, and I just got this last night, and I did post the video today actually. I'm obsessed with this plant. It's gorgeous. The variegation is in the middle, and I'm telling you, like if you get into plants and you really fall into the rabbit hole plants, which is in a good way usually, you're gonna see, like, I'm a big foliage person. There's flower people and then there's both people. I'm a big foliage person. I can appreciate the flowers, but I would just cut them off. I want to see more foliage, and then to the point that just the simple difference of variegation drives me nuts. Like I love this, and it's just so beautiful, really easy to look after, can do good at the bottom in a shelf or in the ceiling. Fun thing too is they do throw out flowers. They're also called in Spanish mala madre, bad mother, because they throw out the babies out. Isn't that funny? I like that so much. Like I be telling my grandma like spider plant, she's like, what? And I'm like, la mala madre, and she's like, oh, okay. And like that's how they usually know it. But I love this plant. I really do. I remember when I was getting to plants, I was not really, I used to live with my grandma, and the air was pretty dry, I was guessing, because a lot of my basic plants that I have now would get pretty crispy, and that was a light thing. It could also be a water thing, a fertilizer thing, but usually I think it just depends. Like I said, depends. My apartment's pretty humid. It's above average. I think average is like 40%. I'm at or 45. Mine's like 55 or 50, and like that's like the middle spot for like humans and like to not get mold and to keep your plants happy. Or you can also just build a microenvironment, which basically means having a lot of your plants together, and as you water it, it will do like respiration. That's what it's called. When it sucks in the water, it releases a little bit out of it to build like that little momentum to like suck in the water. That's how they do it, and that slowly builds humidity. Very little, but sometimes that's all you need to keep your plants pretty healthy, right? It's a gorgeous plant. Highly recommend it. It's called Hawaiian Spider plants. You can probably get it specifically on Etsy if you're looking for the Hawaiian, or if you get lucky in the big box stores, which is slowly starting to roll these out. I've been noticing that they don't always look the best, which is why I've been waiting, and I just finally got it. I'm obsessed. I really do like it. Even like in the bot, look at that. Oh, it's the texture. One thing about this, think it's toxic for cats. When they nibble, they like to nibble on Dracaenas, specifically Madagascar trees, and any spider plants. Supposedly, from what I heard, spider plants give them like a mushroom effect. Like not like they don't act that crazy, but it makes them feel a specific way of happy, very relaxed. But I also know, especially with the Madagascar trees or Dracaenas, it's almost, the foliage is pretty similar. They like to nibble on that because it like cleans their teeth. That's why they do that. Also because like their body needs nutrients and they go to any plants, but that's a whole different thing. So that's on that. Lastly is going to be this gorgeous plant, and it is called a Variegated Wesensaria. There's a lot of Wesensaria. I actually do like the name a lot. I love this one. I don't know specifically what it's called. I think on my channel I had it, and I gotta get back to my label thing because I want to get better at knowing my plants. I've been doing house plants for like 5 years, 6 years, and I'm still slowly learning the planty names, like specifically. Like I know this is a Variegated Wesensaria, but I don't know like specifically what it's called, right? And then there's also like a lot of plants have a lot of names, and I think last year was pretty big because they were changing so many plant names. It pissed a lot of people off, but yes, it's a beautiful Variegated Wesensaria. It has these wide, broad leaves, and usually what people do, they have them placed like this, or just one leaf, and in a section. Maybe in a cuter pot, in a cuter setting with a cuter like saucer, and it's such a statement. It's so iconic. It looks beautiful, very simple, very minimalist, really easy to look after. You just gotta water this plant depending on where you place it, but I water it like back in the day. I used to water it like once a month or once every 2 months, but now I have it on a grow light and I am watering it once a week, as long as I see it drying out. And then it's on a terracotta pot, which basically means it's porous. It wicks out the moisture from the soil, which means it dries out a little bit more faster compared to a plastic planter or a pot. But it's the beautiful Variegated Wesensaria. Humidity is not really a thing about this plant. Pests a little bit. I noticed that mealybugs do love snake plants because they're super duper juicy. And I'm gonna show you my other one. This one did have a really bad infestation, but I've been doing the spray bottle with the rubbing alcohol. Back in the day, I'll use a Q-tip. I heard that that's how you do it, but then I was like, can I just put the entire thing on a spray bottle and just spray, make my life easier? And it does work. Sometimes you might miss some. It's better to physically do it because you're getting more on it, but I'm kind of lazy, and then since I always try to go like work smarter, not harder, even though sometimes it's not really efficient, the spray bottle has been working wonders for me. So that's how I do it. And I gotta spray the other plant, which I will do it in camera to show you. But it's just a gorgeous plant. It did put out this new leaf. This is for busy people or people that don't want to do too many plant chores. Highly recommend any snake plants, but specifically I like this one a lot. It's variegated. It's kind of like yellowish, goldish kind of variegation. It's gorgeous. And I used to have another one which was like green on green variegated, but I threw that one away too. So I'm gonna show you the other one. This is another beautiful Variegated Wesensaria. Specifically, I don't know what it's called, but I know it's a Welfen, and I know it's variegated. Look at that. It's more like cream white. It did put out this new leaf. I did have it in a little light spot, so it's kind of green, but hopefully the new leaves come in. And I'm gonna show you what mealybugs are. So on the second leaf and the middle leaf of all three, You can see in the very middle of the bottom, that little like fuzzy ball. Now there's perlite, which is the white rocks that you're seeing on top of the soil. That's called perlite. They're not really rocks, but that's kind of how they look. And the middle leaf has that mealybug. So you can just get a Q-tip, or you can get your fingers and squish it if you're not really grossed out, or you can get a Q-tip and dab it. But what I like to do, I went ahead and got some rubbing alcohol. Now you gotta be a little bit gentle with this, because if you go too crazy with the rubbing alcohol, and then if it's not diluted, you can kill your plants. So this one is the cheap rubbing alcohol. It's like 50% diluted, so it's 50% like rubbing alcohol and 50% water. And then I put it in a spray bottle. Usually I would dilute it more, but this has been working pretty fine for me. But it's my little pink water bottle, spray bottle. And I got it from Walmart, 98 cents. It's pretty cheap, super easy to do, and it helps a lot with headaches. And then you're just gonna go ahead and spray. Now the water might go to the roots, but I think it's gonna be okay. So I'm just gonna go, see how I sprayed? You see how they turn like kind of like rusted color? Like right there. So I'm like flicking you off. Girl, I'm gonna do this finger then. That one right there, you see how like it's kind of goldish? It did. This is basically acid for them. And what I like to do, I just spray, even like all the leaves. It doesn't really hurt. Just any preventative. So sometimes there will be like tiny, like here's another one in the back. And here. And look, I'm gonna spray. You see how it's gonna turn color? Like a mocha is dead. You know, that one too. And that's it. Now you can go ahead after like once it's already sprayed, rinse it off with water. You want to feel a little bit safe. This is already diluted. Doesn't really do anything. If it gets on your hands like hand sanitizer, just go ahead and like rinse off your hands with water pretty good and wash it with soap. I don't mind again because it's just basically like hand sanitizer. What I noticed, it just dries out your hands. And then you can spray the entire plant just in case. And that's it. Everything's pretty good. This is a lazy route. There's other better techniques out there, but like I said, I don't want to work too hard. I love plants, but I don't want to have a lot of work. You know, I just like to have a jungle. I have an eyelash in my eye. These eyelashes be falling in my eyeballs and it gets so annoying. I'm getting off topic, but that's basically the last of the plants. Sorry y'all, I need a minute. The way they get in your eye and they start stabbing you, it's really annoying. But those are all the plants that I consider, well, that's a lie. These are my top 5 cool plants for beginners that I recommend. I will be doing other videos more specifically like for busy people that just have a lot of love to give for plants and just want to put a lot of time into it. There's plants for them too, and there's plants for people that are both. Anybody can get any plant that they want, but if you're looking for a specific plant on a specific way that you're trying to like take care of them, if that makes any sense, there's, you know, that's what I'm trying to do, make life a little bit easier. I also want to do videos for like lighting, and I also want to do what kind of windows you have. It's pretty easy. Everybody has an iPhone. There's a lot of apps out there. You just download a compass and it will tell you what kind of windows you have if you're curious. And I can do like north, south, west, and east. I can do a video of that too. And then I also want to do, I've been wanting to do this for so long because I know it's gonna like piss a whole lot of people off, but I don't really mean it like that. Plants for people that have no light. So not like that. Maybe like, I don't know, because I want the title to be so like hard and like, you know, really, really like eye-catching. Because the bills I do. And there are basically, I will recommend plants that if you want to put a plant in a spot that's really low light, there are some plants, but I'll make it very clear in the video that they're not gonna thrive. No plant out there would thrive in darkness. They need that light, grow light, or like the sun to photosynthesize so they can produce food for themselves. That's on that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this new planty video. And I tried not to blabber too much, even though I really wanted to so badly. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you do have any of these plants, for my plant girlies out there that we do chat on a daily basis because I post daily, just give us some tips. So you have any tips that I haven't said, or you have some better tips out there, let them know, or like share some tips in the comment section. I would love to see that. So yeah, that's basically it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sending positive vibes to each and every single one of you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.